I see what old chaps and chappets, Game Chap and Bertie here. Yes, indeed, fellows, right? Yes, here we are now here, taking a look at all the masterpieces, that is, classic games in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U, you know.
So this is Super Smash Bros. Wii U, right? But this is the retro stages that you can play within the game, yes?
That's right, of course. They are termed the masterpieces, and of course, all of these are classic games from the libraries of Nintendo, Capcom, and others, and indeed they're based on the fighters in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U, showing you their origins and history. As you can see, this is Super Mario Bros. Goodness me, who doesn't know this game? On the original NES or Famicom in Japan, featuring, of course, Luigi. No, it's Mario, I think, actually. Was it Bowser? I'm not sure.
Mario, yes, so this is classic gameplay, and as I said, and as we said, you are actually looking at gameplay that we're playing on the Wii U here.
That's right.
The Wii U Super Smash Bros. It's not an emulator or a retro game.
No.
We're actually playing these old games on the Wii U.
And that's pro play there, you know.
Well, it most certainly is. Look at that. You see, and so if you've got this, you can access these on the Wii U and play these games. But there's loads of them, so hang around and watch, because they're rather fun.
They're rather fun, I see. That was Super Mario Bros. And of course now, Wrecking Crew. This one, of course, features in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U as a stage. As you know, you can, of course, knock the building down, can't you?
Right, okay, so this is what we've got to do here. Knock the building down.
Well, yes, in this one, you'll play as Mario again. And of course, just before you go into each game, it shows you which fighter you're playing as. In this case, it's Mario, of course, and you have to use your great big hammer there to smash the things to pieces, you know.
Right, so smash them up. And you see, there's something about these old games that just make them fun to play, isn't it?
They've got a lot of charm, I think, El Chap.
Well, you know, quite what they've got to do with Super Smash Bros. I don't know.
Well, it's showing you where the fighters came from. I mean, for example, this is where Mario first used his hammer rather than Donkey Kong, of course. So it's showing you a bit of the origin there and the things they got up to in the past. Of course, in those days, the graphics... the fireball on the side there. Very sharp, El Chap.
Yes.
Things weren't quite the same back then, as you can see.
So this is Balloon Fight, and I liked what you said there, showing you where the fighters came from, the nostalgia involved in that.
Yes, that's right.
Spiffy, this is where they all came from. So Mario, he started life back there. Who's this?
This, of course, actually, Balloon Fighter is not a character anywhere in Super Smash Bros. The reason why this one's in the game is, of course, Villager's up special recovery move is to use the balloons that Balloon Fighter uses here in the balloon trip mode of the original Balloon Fight game.
So Nintendo are playing with our brains then, or with our minds.
I hit it.
There it goes, never mind.
And
introducing all these characters and saying, look, this is where they all came from. So these fighters you're playing in the game originated back here somewhere in time.
That's right. And here, of course, we have Metroid featuring Samus Aran. Now, of course, this is the original Metroid. There's, in fact, two Metroid masterpieces to play. This one is the NES one from 1985, I think, El Chap, or 86, I think.
Really? My goodness me, was anyone even born then?
I don't think there was anyone on the planet back then, El Chap. It's so long ago.
I think so. No, yes, probably was, yes.
Was it aliens back then, old boy? I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever they come, whatever they say, you take your pick.
Yes, indeed, old boy. Of course, as you can see, fellows, you've just picked up the Morph Ball. So very much seeing a lot of variety between the games here. You've got exploration games, action games, adventure games, platform games, and all sorts. And you can really relive the classic moments of these fighters.
You most certainly can, so you can have a go with these, muck around with them, play with them in the game. I mean, I suppose that's why they put them in, for nostalgia and just fun for the fans, I suppose.
I think so. Them. But of course, be careful and note, fellows, you can't actually play these retro games here forever. There's a time limit on each one, which generally ranges from 2 to 4 minutes. So actually, once that timer runs out, you will of course be booted out of the game back to the main menu, so any progress you've made will be lost. And some of the old games, of course, featured a password system where you could write down a code to get back to where you were, because there weren't really any save games back in those days, you'll see. But they've actually excluded the password feature, so you can't enter passwords into the game. They saw that one coming, old chap.
I see. Well, the interesting thing when you said that is you've only got 1.5, 2 minutes. I wonder how much of the game they've put in. If you were super fast, extremely quickly, how many levels you could get through, or whether the level just ends at a certain point anyway.
I don't think it does end, old boy. I think what we're looking at here is actually the full games, because some of them, of course, come preloaded with special save data. And indeed, Mr. Sakurai himself said that if you want, you could actually see it as a bit of a challenge of sorts to see just how far in each game you could possibly get.
In the 1.5, 2 minutes, yes.
In the 2 to 4 minute time frame, that's right, and that's not long. It does go by really fast when you're playing these games, particularly ones that have long cutscenes, for example, like Earthbound, a bit later on, etc., and so forth.
Well, so who's this then?
This is, of course, The Legend of Zelda. Play the Legend of Zelda demo. Yes, that's right.
Oh, yes, the other one's gone. This Legend of Zelda.
That was Kid Icarus back there. This is The Legend of Zelda.
Right, yes, so as you can see there, they're accessed from the main menu there of Wii U.
Yes, they are, Eldwife. From the Wii U interface, you can play the masterpieces. Now, of course, because these games date from times past, they are not necessarily that easy. In fact, the difficulty level in some of these games is actually higher than what we see nowadays.
Oh yes, I suppose it is in many ways. Yes, you know, game I suppose because there's not so much on the screen, it's not as easy to handle as today's games.
No.
Yes, difficult.
But of course, one good thing is you can use all the Wii U's controllers. You don't have to have a GameCube pad or an NES pad or something silly like that. You can actually use your Wii U Pro Controller, Wiimote and Nunchuck, etc. and so forth.
Yes,
Gamepad indeed. So that was The Legend of Zelda, and of course this one is the notorious Little Mac. This is where Little Mac came from, in case you didn't know.
Right, so this is Little Mac, where he actually came from, as you say, in the Punch-Out game.
Now, Punch-Out's quite an interesting one, because originally it was Punch-Out featuring Mike Tyson. Of course, the famous boxer. He was in the game on the NES, but due to licensing issues, they had to later change the title to Mr. Dream, not Mike Tyson. So it was the final boss was changed from Tyson to this fictional boxer called Mr. Dream, I say.
Are we having some drink, have you?
Yes, I think so. There was Soda Popinski. I can't say his name. Soda Popinski, the Russian chap. He liked drinking this one, didn't he?
Did he
this
really?
was
Right,
Glass
yes.
Joe, who's quite an easy boxer, as you can see. But Little Mac's disadvantage in Punch-Out was, of course, he was much shorter than all the other fighters, and that was mercilessly parodied, with Samus, of course, being a lot taller than Little Mac as well in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U.
Ah, yes, so there he is, Little Mac, whacking with your punches, bang, left and right.
Yes, that's right, as you can see. Glass Joe, a bit of a pushover there, and also, if you get his star, you can also do his KO punch in the original game. Let's see if we get the star, shall we? Let's have a look. I'm not sure. Yes, there's a star. Ready for it?
Ah.
Here it comes, and there he goes.
There he goes.
The KO punch. Lovely.
Ah, so that's a pretty easy one to do within the 1 or 2 minutes, I suppose.
Yes, not too bad, of course, and you might get to Von Kaiser as well, I think, after Glass Joe there. Now, of course, that's Donkey Kong.
Ah, yes, Donkey Kong, yes.
But hold on. Where's all the classic retro masterpieces of the SNES Donkey Kong? You know, the Diddy's Conquest, old chap. That's what we want to see, surely.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they put them in, not sure.
Sadly, they didn't actually put that one in. We do have the original Donkey Kong on NES, as you can see, which is not too bad, I suppose, and quite classic.
Well, most certainly, yes. Chucking the old barrels like he did down the side there, you have to avoid them.
They're not barrels. No. This is the 75-meter stage, you'll see, which appears in Super Smash Bros. That's right.
Oh, he used to throw barrels, didn't he?
Yes, on 25 meters, but this is
right.
75 meters, and I think they've chosen this stage because that's actually a stage in the Wii U Super Smash Bros. Game.
Oh, well, I think everyone imagines him throwing the barrels, but there we are.
They do. He's not actually throwing these, they're just sort of bouncing past him, as you can see. Can we reach Pauline? Come on,
Yes.
Mario, off you go, quickly! How do you get those balls moving? There we go!
Oh, very good, yes.
That's pro play, you know.
Well, most certainly.
So, then of course, videos, the Zelda 2 Adventure of Link. This, of
Yes.
course, was a very tough entry in the Zelda series, notoriously difficult, in fact. Zelda, of course, playing the role of Sleeping Beauty, whilst you gallivanted around the world trying to solve various mysteries. But, of course, Link actually had lives in this game, and
Yes.
the boss battles and monster battles were very hard.
Well, yes, they were, and so then he goes along a little pathway, a bit different to what we see today, but nevertheless it had its fun at the time, and really still has now in a way.
Indeed, old boy, it's a look at Link's classic routes there, the various dungeons he used to explore. And, you know, I played this game quite a lot on the 3DS when it came out on that platform, and it's really hard, I can tell you. It's rock hard, you know.
Well, I'm sure it is. So you get 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes or so at this. See
Yes,
how
one you
far
get
can
4 minutes, because of course it's slightly longer, I think, old
Oh,
chap.
do you? Huh?
Yes, as you can see in here, you actually need a lantern to get through this part, and I've completely forgotten where to get the lantern from, so that's not much good, is it, old boy?
Never mind.
Oh, Link, don't go down there! Oh
There he
dear,
goes.
well, never mind, goodbye.
No, never mind.
We've moved on there past the Mario, and we're now on to Mega Man. Of course, you get to play one Mega Man game, which is Mega Man 2, and there's Dr. Wily, you know.
Ah, yes. So as we're playing through these then, I see we're going back to the main screen, picking the next game,
Yes.
Do you get any prizes or awards or anything for going through all of these from the actual Wii U game?
Well, that's an interesting question. There's the Dr. Wily's Castle stage, as you can see.
Yes.
You don't actually get any prizes as such for beating the games, but you can unlock more games, and in fact 5 further games, by completing special challenges in the Smash Bros. Game. Now, for example, to get the one of Kirby's games, you have to clear Classic Mode on 5.5 intensity or above with Kirby.
Aha, so that releases another one of these little games.
It does, old boy, and
Retro.
also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the Wrecking Crew game, actually you have to get over 1,986 feet in the Sandbag Home Run Contest. That's easy to do if you use Ganondorf.
Ah, right, okay. So if you do that, you get that.
Yes, that's right. As you can see, this is quite an interesting look at Mega Man's past because, of course, the different powers he uses in Super Smash Bros. Are actually based on these classic powers from this game here.
No, really interesting.
You see that there's his wind attack there, he's got another one here, which is, of course, his Leaf Shield, and many more powers he uses in the fighting game.
Well, yeah, so they've thought about this Wii U Smash Brothers game, haven't they? Putting all this in and all the other things they've put in. They've really thought about what, you know, as I said earlier, bringing a lot of nostalgia water into it and things like that, and just to make the fans happy, I suppose.
That's right, I think they've taken special care to show you snippets of these old games that are relevant to the fighting game. So it's not just randomly chucking games in there. These actually mean something, and of course you can draw a straight line from these right the way up to Super Smash Bros. Rather fun, you know.
Yes, indeed. There's Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario, goodness me, yes, this game's quite tough, I say, but do you know how to play this, old chap?
Well, no, I can't say I do,
It's
actually.
not like Tetris, you see. It's not at all like that. You have to get 4 colours in a row in order to clear the viruses out.
Oh, I see.
And
Right.
believe me, it's harder than it sounds, old chap. Oh, there we are. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goodness me.
I
and of
see.
course, there's one virus left. Can we clear him, old chap? I'm not sure. Oh dear. It all very much goes on what's the next block. There's a black one there. That's no good. We have to clear that grey virus at the bottom right, as you can see there.
It's a variation on Tetris, isn't it?
It is, old boy. That's well put. Quite a variation on Tetris there. There's 4, but it's still not the one we need. More black blocks. No, you have to wait for your right time to appear. Rather like you do in Super Smash Bros. You've got to wait for the right time for the KO, of course. There we go. There it is, I say.
Ah.
It's clear. Lovely.
Oh, I got through that one then.
We did. Next up is a very, very famous fan classic that is Super Mario World. Who recalls this game, I say?
Oh, I remember this.
I do, but I wonder if many viewers might remember this game, old chap.
Well, I don't know.
Well, certainly it's a classic Mario game. If you haven't played this videos, definitely give this one a try.
Very frustrating.
Well,
I can remember playing
you?
it, I think, on SNES.
The SNES. Why do you say it's frustrating, old chap?
Well, because it is.
Is it really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
It
Did
is
you lose a lot?
frustrating. Well, sometimes.
No, I
It's
see.
frustrating.
Well, I must say, Vanels, you have to...
You buy new controllers.
Did you really?
Not really,
I
no.
hope not,
Well,
old chap.
nearly.
Nearly, yes. You don't launch out the window, do you, old boy?
Yes.
Because, as you can see, in this particular game, this introduced, of course, Yoshi and his classic, Mario's rather classic cape, of course, with which he could fly through the world. And here's the course exit, as you can see. Let's clear the charging chuck and ready for it. Wait for the jump.
Here we go.
There we
Oh,
are.
yes.
27 stars is not bad, you know.
It wasn't, and there was something satisfying about hitting that little thing.
The goal post, that's right.
Yes, it made you feel good, didn't it?
The victory sign, lovely.
Yes.
Super Mario World for nails. So what's up next, I wonder? It's F-Zero with Captain Falcon.
Ah, yes, F-Zero. Yes, very fast game and difficult game at the time.
Yes, now this one
really.
is quite a tough game indeed, as you say, old boy. You play as the Blue Falcon by default in this one, and you have to beat the other races at high speed. But I tell you, cornering in this game is very difficult. Screaming down those corners. What I usually do is I come off the accelerator around the corners, so I just go tap, tap, tap on the button like that. That allows you to turn, as you can see, around the corners. If you try to blast around those corners at full speed, you'll crash into the wall.
I see, yes. What do you do on the controller?
Tap, tap, tap.
Ah,
tap,
right.
tap,
Yes,
tap.
yes,
You
yes,
know, it's like that.
Important, yes.
Like that, old chap.
That's it, yes.
So
yes.
if you don't do that, you might, as I say, crash into the walls there, particularly on that hairpin bend. But coming off the gas there, just getting a burst of speed will get you safely through. And of course, you can use boosts after each completed lap.
Most certainly. So this is where Captain Falcon's supposed to have come from.
Yes.
Appearing today,
Oh, bumper
as he
cars, watch out! There we
does.
are.
That's it, yes, appearing
Dangerous.
today as he does in the Super Smash Bros. Wii U.
Falcon punch, old chap.
Yes, and all that. That's where it came from.
That's where it came from, else. Indeed, F-Zero on the SNES, quite those were the days. And of course, he was a bounty hunter back then, you know.
Was he really?
He was, I say. Next up is Pilot Wings. Now, to be honest with you, fellows, I'm not sure why Pilot Wings is here. Are you, old boy?
Pilot Wings, well,
Really?
that was hang on, wasn't that a 64 game?
It was actually, yes, it was on the
Is
64.
it one of the one they gave awful reviews in their magazines?
No, they liked it, old boy.
Did they really?
Yes, I think
Oh
so.
no, it was Clay Fighter 64, wasn't it?
Clay Fighter 63 and a third.
63, oh, they hated that,
They
didn't they?
hated that. They also hated Choro Q. Yes, indeed.
Did
I
they?
think.
Yes.
And Sub-Zero mythologies. That's right. Mortal Kombat mythologies.
goodness me,
Those
we're
were the
going
days.
back.
We're going back. But anyway, Vanels, Pilot Wings is here, I think, because there's a Pilot Wings stage in Super Smash Bros. You can't actually play as the instructor, but you can play on the plane.
Ah, I see. So this is referring to the stage then, rather than the
Yes.
players.
Let's get the landing right. Pull back, hit the brake, and I
Brake.
think, is that it, old boy?
Brake.
Did we do it, I say?
I don't know. I'll tell you in a minute.
Wait for it. Yes!
There, yes,
landing.
you did.
Okay.
Wonderful.
That's tough. That's harder than it looks, you know.
Well, yes.
You'll have to practice that one. He's amazed. Look at his face, old chap.
Yes, he is. I'm surprised as well, actually. But there we
Oh,
are.
really, old boy? Better than that, you know.
Yes, so these retro games then, within the Wii U as they are rather good fun to go along and play, and to, just add a bit of fun to the game.
That's right, old boy. Indeed. And up next we have here Yoshi.
Yoshi again.
But this isn't actually like a platform game. This is more like a puzzle game. This is quite a strange entry in the series. In this one, you have to spin the little trays of some sort round at the bottom there, and allow these strange sort of monster-shaped puzzle blocks to stack one on top of the other.
Ah, I see.
So his name is there, but it's not actually Yoshi, if you see what I mean.
No, I see what you mean. Yes, yes.
Mario, can you sort your act out, I say? You've got to match them together, as you can see, like so. And then
I see.
disappear, you'll
So
say.
he's a bit like a waiter, really, isn't he?
Yes, I suppose you could say that, old chap, yes.
Yes, he is really.
If you get a very big combos, I'm sure we'll get one soon, you can, of course, get lots and lots of monsters inside an egg, and the egg snaps down shut.
I see.
There you go, look at that, old boy.
Yes,
And
it's not
Yoshi
bad.
appears in the centre.
Oh,
Lovely.
there is. That's the objective, is it?
Well, partly, old boy. This one is based on the pink puffball known as Kirby. Now, this is his outing in 1992, of course, on the Game Boy.
1992.
Do you remember the Game Boy, old chap?
The Game Boy? That was the black and white one, wasn't it?
The Game Boy, the handheld console.
The handheld, that's what I said.
The
It didn't have
original
colours.
Game Boy, that's right. It didn't have any colours, of course. Super Mario Land on there. What a game, I say.
Oh, yes, most certainly.
So, what else? In this one, Kirby can, of course, suck up enemies like he usually does, but he can't actually copy their powers in this one, strangely.
Oh, can't he?
No, you just sort of eat them and swallow them, but you
Oh, well,
can't actually copy them.
Well, this is really is a retro game. I mean, going back years with this one. I mean, this is
22
This
years.
is before they had even the colour. Did they ever have colour on a Game Boy? I don't even know.
Yes, they had the Game Boy Color, of course. Yes, indeed, old boy.
Yes,
And then they had the Game Boy Advance after that.
Yes, I think they did, and I think they had an addition to it. Well, they had it sometime or the other. But I remember seeing them around, years later with great big magnifying glass or something.
The magnifier.
A
That was
big magnifier
wonderful.
stuck on the side of it, so you could see what the heck was going on.
That wasn't too bad, actually.
Yes.
They did amplify the screen quite a lot, but
Yeah.
they should have just made one with a larger screen. Why didn't they do that? The Game Boy XL, that's what they needed to say.
Exactly.
Game Boy XL. But anyway, there we are. This is Super Mario Kart. My word, what a classic one. But this particular game is not like modern Mario Kart. This is as hard as nails, you know.
Is it okay? So this one, once again, everyone that's watching, remember that these games you're seeing, we are playing on the Wii U. This is actually on the Wii U.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
This is not on the SNES or anything,
No. This is an addition on the Wii U that they've added into the game. So yes, as you're saying, Mario Kart here. This is a SNES one.
Yes, it is, old boy.
Well, the SNES one was a big game in the day, you know.
It was very big, old boy. Yes, very popular
Big
with many
game,
people.
lots and lots of competitions going on.
Lots of multiplayer, etc. and so forth. Fun times, I say. And this one, the trouble I find with this game all the time, when I try to turn, I always slip off the road. I can't play it normally, you see. Well, this might actually be 50cc, I'm not sure, but certainly on the faster engine sizes, it is very hard to control your car. But,
Yes.
Mario, can you do the job, my son? I'm sure he can.
I'm sure he
Final
can.
lap, old boy. Just one more spin of the circuit. Can we do this, old boy?
Yeah, so they give you enough time to have one game or one entire
One
match.
lap, one the race, that's
one
right.
race, yes.
On Mario's circuit there, of course, which appears in modern Mario Kart as well, I think, old boy. The classic music. Donkey Kong throwing a banana. Let's see, can we do it? And
Well, he did
there
it.
we go!
Well, look at that.
We shall be drinking champagne today, fellows, to celebrate our victory.
Well, yes, we will, yes.
Lovely. Kirby's Adventure then, fellows. This, of course, is, I think, my favourite Kirby game, actually. This is Kirby Superstar. This one was on the NES, indeed, old boy. And you
the
actually
NES.
have preloaded save data on Rainbow Resort, as you can see. So if you want to find out what the final boss looks like, you can go straight in and play level 7 boss.
Ah, right, okay. So what, on the Wii U one?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, I
So
see, yes,
you don't
yes.
actually have to start from the start in this one. You can see the entire game and see how far you can get inside just 3 minutes, I think, old boy. It's not long, you know.
No, you don't get long for that one, no.
Now, this is the Warp Star Station. Now, let's go back to level 7, shall we? All the levels, as you can see, are unlocked there. Someone's actually played through it and got 96%. I wonder who played it. Maybe Mr. Sakurai himself, perhaps, old chap.
Well, someone's played it. Yes, they must have done to put it on this platform, I suppose.
And who do we have here? Let's see. It's King DDD.
Ah, right, okay.
So that's his origins, fellows, and indeed many of his Smash Brothers moves are actually based on the things he did back here in the boss battle. He used to suck you up and fly around and use his hammer and jump down and crash down like he does. As you can see, also his classic dash attack move there in action. So he does many things that he does in the Super Smash Brothers game too. He's got there. Oh,
He has.
Just like that, you'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, when did this game come out? 1990 something?
Yes,
So that was, what, 20 years ago or something?
a long time ago.
My
old
goodness
chap.
me. So the thing is, who would have thought then that the chaps, these characters would still be going now
Yes.
on these platforms with such good graphics and all these sort of things we've got today that they didn't have then?
And you can actually play as the characters and fight against each other. Goodness me, yes, times have moved on. Let's see if we can get this mushroom, shall we? This is in Super Mario Bros. 2, only released in Japan initially. This is, of course, the Lost Levels. You can actually play as Luigi in this one, who runs faster and jumps higher than Mario.
Ah, so we couldn't get this over here then?
Not originally. Of course, it came out with Super Mario All-Stars. I had that, you know. Marvellous
All-Stars.
game.
Ah, yes, I remember that game.
Wonderful game, I say.
Vaguely.
Yes, it was good. But of course, you could play that in there, but before then, it was only in Japan in 1986, and perhaps for a good reason, because it was hard as nails once more, and Luigi slides all over the place.
Goodness me, 86.
Yes, indeed, those were the days, old chap.
Were they? You remember them?
The Eye of the Tiger, you know, those days, old boy. Well,
oh.
I think so. I
Right.
must say, I wasn't actually around back in 1986, but I'm just saying it to feel good, old boy, you know.
Didn't they have horses and milk carts to deliver the milk then?
I think so, yes.
Something like that.
I'm sure they did
Anyway.
muskets and things. I think they did, old boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've beaten the level. Look
Well,
at
well
that.
done.
There you
Goodness
go.
gracious me. So we're still, once again, everyone that's watching, we're still now in these retro games being played on the Wii U. And
That's
we're
right.
trying to go through them all, aren't we? we?
And here's Pac-Man, you know. Yes, this is all the games videos. And this is, of course, Pac-Man, a fan favourite. And if you ask me, this is how Pac-Man should really look. To be honest, he's got a different look in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U, and I think it's quite good. You know, his new design, but I like his classic look best.
Well, I suppose so. Has he got an eye on this one?
No, he's just Pac-Man, pizza slice.
Ah, yes, I see, yes.
There you are, fellows. That's classic Pac-Man. That's how it should be, you know. And I used to play Mrs. Pac-Man as well. That was wonderful, old chap.
Ah, did you? Yes.
You know Mrs. Pac-Man, she had a bow.
Did she?
You know she did.
Oh, right,
Don't
okay.
you know Mrs. Pac-Man?
No.
Oh, well.
Ah, never mind.
Never mind. You got a bit carried away there, I think.
You did, I think, but never mind, it was okay.
It's Super Metroid on SNES next, I say. This
Ah,
involves, of course, Samus, and many fans say this is her best outing on SNES. And once more, we are starting here with preloaded save data. You can start off in Norfair with a fully powered Samus with her screw attack and many more weapons, and just blast through the game and find out how she works and see many of her moves in action.
Ah, yes, indeed. So there we are.
If we jump, as you can see, there we are, that's Samus' screw attack, which she, of course, uses in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U, and also she has her missiles and bombs, etc., and so forth here.
Yes, so a later game than the one we saw earlier.
That's right, of course, the graphics much better than the NES version. There are many things to explore and hidden pathways to discover, but if you want to really actually get around in the world of Metroid, or Super Metroid rather, you'll have to load the preloaded data because it has quite a long intro that you can't skip.
Ah, most certainly, yes indeed. So this is where Samus came from.
That's right, old boy, and be careful if you do decide to play of lava, because, steady, no, lava, no, Samus, get away from the lava, what's she doing, I say?
Well, she's going for a swim in
That's
lava.
why you've got to be careful of the lava. I can't get out the lava, what's going on here?
That's what it was like, you see, with these games.
With these games,
It wasn't easy.
You just can't get out, help!
Exactly.
Oh,
Never
dear.
mind, but it goes to the next one, I think.
There, fellows, of course, we have Earthbound. This one is quite an interesting one, actually. This is a bit of a curveball, Earthbound. This one was, I guess, indeed aimed at children, but it had many interesting and quite dark undertones, actually. It's an RPG game. I haven't actually played this one myself. This is the first time I've loaded it up.
Yeah.
But, of course, it features Ness, you know. You know Ness, don't you?
Ness.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
No.
PK Fire!
Oh, yes.
You must know Ness, old chap. He's from Own It, you'll say.
Right. Okay, yes.
You don't know him, do you? PK Thunder!
Right, yes. PK Thunder. Yes.
That's right, yes. He's a Scottish chap. So, anyway, he, of course, is based in Euritia, and as you're about to see, a strange thing comes from outer space and crash lands next to him while he's asleep, you'll say.
Ah, right, okay.
This is Ness's house, but he's about to have a rude awakening, I think, old boy.
Is he really?
Where's Ness, I say? Ness, are you there? It's all a long intro, you'll see.
It is, yes.
There's Ness fast asleep. Now, listen, I'm going to be quiet and you do too, buddy. Listen, I say. My goodness, that was frightful, old chap.
Well, most certainly. So this game here that we're playing is, who's this character in the actual game then?
That's
In the Wii
Ness,
U?
of course, in the red
Ness.
cap there. He indeed appears in Super Smash Bros. And can do many PK-based powers, although in the original game he couldn't actually use PK Fire. I think it was Paula that could do that, old boy, Paula.
right, yes.
But there's the meteorite, as you can see, and who knows what that could lead to.
Well, exactly. So they're showing you here the origins of this little character.
The teaser, I say,
Yes.
indeed, old boy. The Starman, I think, come from there too.
That's really what it is, yes.
And now, this of course is Kirby Superstar. Many fans consider this to be the best Kirby game. Originally on SNES, you could play this with a friend, etc. and so forth.
Yes.
And also, Kirby for the first time could transfer his powers into another friend helper, like Knuckle Joe here, for example.
Ah, yes. So,
That's his fighter move, as you can see, and he does many good tricks here, I say.
well, he does. So once again, this is a move on from the game we saw a little earlier with Kirby in it.
That's right, the graphics and sound, of course, are a lot more advanced than they were, and we just got a golden medal, lovely!
Yeah, so it's a bit of a history lesson from Nintendo about where all this Wii U players and characters and fighters came from.
And their moves, you can see many classic moves in action, and generally try to blast through as much of these classic old games as you possibly can in the short time limit, you'll say.
Well, most certainly. So you've got to think about it. The game you're playing does have some history.
It does,
And,
I say.
You know, they're trying to show it here. It's not just load it up and play. It's got some history, which is fun to look at.
It's a fun inclusion, I say. Indeed, Fails. Do tell us what you think of these classic retro games, and of
Yes.
course how far you can get before the time expires, you know.
Well, yes, let us know what you think of all these games, and do you think they should have added them? And you think they're fun, or should they have just left them out?
I think they're a fun inclusion, but
Right
this
then.
has been Game Jam and Buddy with Smash Brothers Masterpieces. Join us again, I say. We look forward to seeing you then. Until then.